Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for joining for another video. Today, I've been wanting to make this video for quite a while, but I didn't really know how to execute it and how to make it and how to actually make it informational for you guys while still keeping it short and sweet so it's actually helpful. So, a couple things about putting. I want to be a better putter. If you clicked on this video, you want to be a better putter. It's a lot about how you're holding it and the actual putter you choose, believe it or not. From this close to this basket, which is 3 steps away, it doesn't matter. I could putt with my actual disc golf bag and probably make it. But once you start getting further and further out and the disc has to show its characteristic, you need to match that with your putting style, and then you have a good match. So you don't want to, if you're a push putter and you want to putt it super high, you don't want to putt with a super overstable disc, like maybe a Judge isn't the best disc for you. Now, if you're Eric McCabe and you spin the putt and you want to almost have a flex line on your putt, maybe the Judge is great for you. But first and foremost, when you're gripping the disc, one of the main things that I think people get wrong, and Broderick was kind of the same way, is that people think that holding it like this or this is like what the pros do or what the great putters do. Because that's maybe how you see the picture of it in our hand or in people's hand, is fingers look like they're super spread out on the bottom, and that's what someone like Ricky would teach, is like, you know, put your fingers out and pop them. But at the end of the day, I've putted with Ricky for, I'm not going to say hundreds of hours, but tens of hours. I've talked to Ricky a lot about putting, and I've watched him putt thousands of putts. And he gets to the bottom, and then his fingers end up like this on the bottom of the plate here, to where this is what he would think he's doing. This is what's actually happening. So what that does is curling your fingers like that allows you to use these pads of your fingers to actually spin and propel the disc. Because if you hold it like this, for one, your wrist isn't as mobile as it could or should be. And then if you hold it like this, then your wrist is loose, light, and you're using these pads of these fingers and your wrist to actually pop the disc. So what else that creates, if you are a pushy putter, spin putter is a lot different, and I'm not even going to try to talk about that because I don't fully understand why or what happens. So my take on this putt wobble, if you go watch my Pixel Simon Line video, I think that my putt was super wobbly in that video because the putter was so much deeper. So I have the glitch out here today to show you that obviously these discs are not the same depth, and this disc is much, much deeper on the bottom, because obviously the flight plate of this Penrose from EV7 is thicker. So going here and holding this disc, so my fingers either want to be way out there where I was saying is not good, or like too tight for putting with it. So because it's deeper, so my finger, the depth of my hand changes because of how deep. Or, I mean, if the putter was super, super shallow, right, you'd hold it like this, your hand wouldn't have room to kind of get and curl those fingers. So when you're picking a putter, or you have putters at home and you have maybe 10 or 15 options that you don't know which one you like or you hate them all, go grab them off the shelf and just kind of put it in your hand and kind of feel like this would be your grip. Wherever you put this front finger, Macbeth does this. I mean, the front finger is very personal. But I think to be a great putter, and all the great putters I've ever seen and been around and played against, they've all held it in this way where even if they start like this or they tell you whatever, the only person I've really seen that I have personally seen with my own eyes that doesn't do that is Simon, and he tucks his pinky, but he has a much more spin putt than, you know, what I'm really talking about. So I'm not saying this is the golden rule or this is the only way to do it correctly, because that's simply not true. But number one, finding a putter that fits your stroke or a putter profile, putter flight. Maybe it could be the EV7 Penrose. Maybe it could be the Pure. Maybe it could be, you know, whatever putter kind of is going to do the flight or the trajectory and have the glide you want. And then once you narrow it down to those putters and what those might do, then it would be a good time in order to try to find one that has the depth you like. Because there's 20 straight putters that all have, I mean, you have a dagger that's this deep, and then you have, you know, a putt and approach AVR that's, you know, this deep. So, and they're both straight. So Once you find out the profile of putter you need and like and fits your stroke the best, then you need to find the depth that fits best. And when we're talking about depth or picking that, like I said, I'd like to see you guys be here. And this is how I line up my putt. My putting grip doesn't change from when I grab it to when I let go. And it looks like that. That's what's comfortable. That's what allows me to pop it. And I think that that's why typically when I'm putting well, my putt isn't very wobbly. And again, there's nothing wrong with wobble. If you're an inherent wobbler, I mean, Owen Scoggins, Jay Redding, two of the best putters probably ever, wobble it. But then you have people like Ricky who can just stand there and launch it from 70 feet. But it's because, without even knowing it, he's using these tips of his fingers here in order to propel the disc and use his wrist and those fingers in order to do this motion, to sling it. Because if your hand is like this, flat, it's very hard to get those same fingers engaged. So, one other thing. Just a drill that I've always done, and when I'm playing my best disc golf or I'm really grinding to get ready for a tournament or an event or a season, is to just set up a little, what I call a gate drill here. So go to a spot where you think you maybe couldn't miss. Maybe that's 10 feet for you, 15, 20. Maybe you're a great putter and it's 30 feet. But I want you to make like 10 in a row, really nice putts. Not hit the rim and go in, not hit left side chains and drop in. Like, go to a distance where you feel like you can make a nice, solid, smooth stroke and hit right dead center on the pole, you know, within reason, I don't know, 10 or 15 times. And make that, again, the range that you're most comfortable and you can do that. And then go to the range that you're pretty comfortable but still like would scare you if you're playing league or a tournament. So for me, these distances are probably like 25 feet where I feel like 10 out of 10 I will, should, and could make it. And then 30 feet where it's like, okay, I should make this. I probably will make it, but it's a little more nerve-wracking. And then you get out to 35, 37 feet where I've made a lot of them. I've missed a lot of them. And that's where I want to work on. So, but you're able, I kind of got this drill actually from Eagle McMahon. He said, well, if you make it from there, then you can make it from here. And it really made me a better putter just thinking about it like that. Like, you can make it from 25 feet every time, dead center on the pole. Then moving back 5 feet, it's not even a different putt. So what it's going to do is it's going to train you how to actually do these things and how to actually be confident and controlled in your putting, even though you might be at a range that you don't typically like to see when you have one putt. But going from 25 to 30 or 15 to 20, really that same putt that hits dead center from the first one is going to probably go in on the second one. So I like to come out here or at the course, wherever, and kind of just, maybe I don't put the disc down like I did here, but this is just for demonstration. And putt, like I said, 25-footer, 30-footer, 35. Even sometimes I'll go out to 40 feet a little bit because for me, I do that jump putt. So 35, 37, it's really the same thing. And it doesn't have to be precise. You could come out here and just throw 3 putters, in varying distances and putt from there. The one thing I like to do is get your confidence up, watch it go in, trust it going in, back up to a spot where you're nervous. And again, you don't have to make all 10. That, I'm not expecting you to make 10 30-footers in a row. And just until you're confident, get your stroke down until you feel at least like you're putting good move on the putter. And then maybe even go back to the first one, get some more confidence, and then go to your back furthest spot, and then just feel how it feels and putt. And again, what this is going to do also is it's going to help you kind of mess with your grip. It's going to help you maybe pick a putter, because maybe a putter that you are thinking, oh, I want to make all my 25-footers. So you're picking your putter for this spot, but from here it's too stable. So you have to putt it way out to the right, or you have to, putt it too hard. So overall, what this is going to do is going to teach you what your putting stroke really feels like when it's grooving well. It's going to make you a better putter because you're practicing and getting the feeling of making these. And then 3, it's going to show you where your putter or your putting stroke might lack. So from 40 feet, I'm not a very good standstill putter. I know that. Thankfully, we're allowed to jump putt or push putt or whatever you want to call it, step putt. But I know from 40 feet, if I couldn't jump or step or whatever, the chances of me making it go down. Now, thankfully, my range is outside the circle where I don't have to do that. But if you're feeling like you can't get the putter to the basket, or you're having a tough time from 30 feet where you can't jump putt or you can't utilize the other rules of the game, then maybe it's time to get a more glidey putter or, change your putting stroke a little bit. So overall, grip, Pick the correct putter for your stroke and what you're doing, not the one your friends are using, not the one I'm using, not the one Simon's using, unless you think those fit you the best. And then do this drill, and again, what it's going to do, more confidence, obviously more practice, you're going to be a better putter. And that's going to kind of show you where your putter or where your grip or where your stroke really starts to kind of lose you and where you actually need to work on the most. And hopefully you can start moving this drill back, and back, and end up being a really great putter with a drill that really shouldn't take you all that long. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry, this was more of a talking video, didn't really demonstrate much, but hopefully you can listen to this in your car, driving to work, or whatever. Be safe. Hope you guys have a great new year. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.